Here to keep the chase going, share information, spread unity, preserve our heritage and our culture. We're trying to achieve something that you just can't catch. We're always trying to find a better way, trying to make better dogs. That's what Dixie Doggers Podcast is. That's who we are.
This episode is brought to you by Rankin Ranch 38 Cattle Company. Marc Rankin specializes in Brahma and Brahma Cross cattle in Oglethorpe County, Georgia. You can contact him at 407-832-2077. 407-832-2077. This episode is also brought to you by Phil Wilson of UC Hunting Properties. If you're buying or selling land, farms, or hunting property, these folks know land. You can contact him at 678-791-3483, 678-791-3483, or visit his website down below in the description.
All right, everybody. Joey and Nate back here with you. One more time, doing another podcast, a little Dixie Dogger action coming to you, but we are not downtown right now. We're back in the shed.
Yep.
Because we are transferring all the shit to the other store. We have acquired another building and we're moving. So y'all bear with us, stay with us, and just stay tuned for all the shit that we're doing because it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. But tonight, speaking of the big time and the big show and all these things, we have one of the most formidable showmen that I've ever met in my life. We have the one and only, world famous Jake Loiacano on the horn with us tonight. He's going to give us a little update and a little roustabout about what's fixing to happen at the next bay. So what's happening with you, Jake?
BigDaddyHogBand.com is rolling full steam ahead. Got a lot of momentum right now. We had one of the largest shows ever held by any, even if you factor in, normally we kind of judge them on two different standards. There's Earls and then there's normal shows. Well, even like before I got Earls, that show we did in May had around 570 paid entries. That's about twice as big as any Earls before I got it. And this show coming up here, the year-end show in October, is on pace to do around the same, around 600 paid entries. And we were the first to 300 paid entries, first to 4, first to 5. I want to be the first to 6 too.
Nice.
I'm ready.
Hell yeah. Well, we're going to keep on pushing it out there. And that's why we're like, man, we need to get this thing on the air. We need to get with you, put it out, get it out there so people can hear it, you know.
Speaking of on the air, I seen y'all on doing a little cross promotion there with the Houndsman XP
what are you talking about?
and Ed Barnes there. That's how we got to do it. We all got to get together, be on the same page.
We do, man.
That was cool. I was proud to see that.
And I'll be honest with you, it was probably one of the best times that I had. We had a great. Me and Ed had a hell. Me, Nate, and Ed. We had a hell of a conversation before the podcast started, as usual. You know, like me and you were doing a while ago. We're getting into a good conversation. Like, hey, let's just stop and start the podcast.
Yes, sir.
But we had a great time, and I hope that, you know, trying to lead by example. I don't know that it'll change anything, but I'm hoping that, you know, other people can see that, hey, you can have two different things going and work together and everything will be okay. Nobody's going to die. It's all right.
That's right.
It was pretty cool though. We had a good time. And, you know,
the only things you got to be careful with in this market, this podcast market, is like one of the hog dog, like one of the highest demographics that listens to a hog dog podcast is married women. Okay. So you got to be careful and you can't have Uncle Pat on too much because if you do, there's going to be a lot of broken homes.
Yes. It's tough. And we've got him like, limited. We got a rev limiter on him.
See what we've got is you know, like you speak of a rev limiter, but like Pat has no limit. Okay. so like, you know, he's one of them, like you see Derek Jeter walking in from the dugout and he's going to sign autographs all the way back to the clubhouse. Well, that's kind of Uncle Pat in that aspect. You know, he is, you know, everyone plays a role in this game, all the way down to the execution of the shows and actually hunting in the field. there's dog men, there's dog breeders, there's sex symbols. Obviously, there's Uncle Pat right there, and you got to keep his pitch count down, because otherwise, it could get crazy. Yeah. It's almost unapproachable.
Yeah, I agree. I've learned a lot here, in the short time that we've been involved with him as much as we have. And like you said, you got to keep his pitch count down. That's for sure.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. But speaking of Uncle Pat, he will be there the second weekend of October. It's I don't have my notes in front. I mean, it's weird. Like, I ought to know this because I made the dates, but I think it's the October 10th through the 13th.
Yes.
Is the exact dates.
That's it. 10th and 13th.
Every race is highly contested right now. Thankfully, sometimes we have a few races that one person's way out ahead and it doesn't make it too suspenseful. But right now, every race is highly contested. The Kennel of the Year is about a four kennel race. The Futurity of the Year really is anybody's game right now. I believe Ricky Code Red and them have two at the top. GW of Bayou Boys is right behind them. I think he's a point behind two of the Code Red dogs in the Jip of the Year and the Puppy Futurity, and obviously he has Hand Grenade that is in the number one spot right now. But as a lot of your listeners know, he is staring down the barrel of one of the most formidable foes in the history of competitive hog dogging, the Goose, Top Gun Goose.
Yes, sir.
Being ahead of Goose is a great thing, but Goose is hungry. Mm-hmm. It's gonna make it exciting. If y'all want to see some, you like a football game coming down to the fourth quarter, that's what we've got right here. We've got a game coming down to the fourth quarter. The Goose, the Hand Grenade, they're going to do battle, and
that's going to be something.
Going to be exciting. Right now, Bayou Boys, they stand a chance of winning all three of the year-end categories: the Futurity, Puppy Futurity, the Jip of the Year. I say all three. I think he's in second or third in the kennels. Actually, there's 4 year-end. There's a kennel, which I think he's second in. There is a Puppy Futurity, he's in second in. There's a top placing female, he's second, and then there's the World Championship, he's in first right now. But Top Gun leading the Kennel of the Year. They had a big showing at the Two Dog World Cup. They won first and second with their own dogs. A lot of points there. They didn't bay outside.
Yeah.
So all four dogs that got first and second, they got all those kennel points. So they've got a hefty lead in the Kennel of the Year, which I think Top Gun's won it 5 of the last 6 years.
Yep.
Something like that.
I believe so.
I think he won it. He won it the year before he got Goose, and he's won it every year except one since he's had Goose.
Yeah, I was fixing to say I knew he had won it the year before he had got Goose for sure. And so has he won it every year since he's had Goose as well?
No, he lost it one time.
One time, okay.
Year before last, I think.
Year before last, yeah.
Triple R. Kids won it.
That's right. Yeah, that I remember that now. That was I think that was one of the first years when me and Nate had first started coming out there with you guys.
Yes, sir.
A couple years ago, so you talk about all these big name dogs, and you got all the standings and the race and all that stuff. So there's a lot of newcomers that we've seen at every time we come to a bake, man. There's new faces there. So it's full steam ahead on that side of it too. So for some of the listeners out there that are thinking, well, man, I'd like to ride down there and see what's happening or bring a dog. What do you got that they can do while they're there with their dogs, Jake?
Well, we have novice classes. We have amateur classes. A novice is a dog that's never won anything. Mm-hmm. Amateur is a dog that's never – you could have won the novice, but you haven't placed in the pro yet, so you can run on the amateur. Yeah. We have the old and young, the puppy bay. There is and there's a wealth of knowledge to be gained just by being there. Like, I always tell people, like, if you want to see what it's about and you can't take off work to not compete and we'll try to learn, just come on Saturday. Come on Saturday. You'll see all the best dogs paired the best ways. You'll pick up on everybody's techniques, all the do's and don'ts, and see what guys are thinking to give them some type of competitive edge.
Yeah.
And most of the time, not always, but most of the time, the dogs that are placing are novice dogs themselves.
Yeah.
There is a bit, I'm going to call it the Bama factor, because college football fans can probably relate to this.
That's right.
Like Nick Saban kind of created a Bama factor. Like LSU would win a national title and they'd fire their coach the next season because they didn't win 2. Well, they got to realize, hey, you're LSU, you're not Bama.
Yeah.
Well, Nick Saban's steadily getting better and better, and they keep blowing up their program because they're not Nick Saban. Well, guess what? Don't judge yourself to a standard that's unrealistic. Get in the flow of things.
That's right.
And let some things happen. Some people have been doing this for 10 years, 20 years to get this kind of success. It's not going to happen. If you can walk in off the street and be the best there is in a year,
man,
the chances are the sport don't have much merit anyway.
That I have to agree with that, because it's, we've been banned for quite a few years, and we got on a true competitive level a couple of years ago, and I like you said, we hit a few holes. It kept us interested in it, but it also taught us a lot of things on where we really stand as dogmen. It's like, hey, this thing, it's a work in progress all the time. And like you said, I got to talking to other people that had literally been there for 10 years baying and hadn't really won a big show or hit the big hole, And I think the first one that I'd seen that done that was Lulu and that center dog. Her and Joey Barkley, was it last year?
Yeah, I think it was last year.
It was last year, and I know she's been baying that dog a long time. And man, it was just a flood of emotions, and all the hard work.
It was a magical night.
It was. Yep. It was. And so for some of the newcomers or people that are thinking about coming, give it a shot. Like you said, if you want to come check it out and just see what it's about, Saturday is the day, and don't be scared to talk to anybody. Everybody there they're all like-minded individuals. And I'll be honest with you, man, that I've heard so many different stories, how some of these people are assholes and this and that. They're not. Everybody there is helpful. Everybody there will lend a hand. They'll share their knowledge with you, and they'll try to help you succeed. It's crazy.
One thing about it, whether their heart's in the right place or not, everybody there is trying to grow the sport. Mm-hmm. Period. Some people, not everyone there. Like I said, they don't have their heart in the right place. They may be trying to gain an advantage of some kind, but everyone there wants to grow the sport. They want you involved.
That's right.
And I tell people when they're new to the game, like, look, everybody here has a sales pitch, including me. I'm not above, the same standard. I have a sales pitch myself. Like most people that are trying to sell you something want to get rid of something they can't compete with, or to try to get more than it's worth because you don't know any better. Me, my sales pitch is I want you doing this for the next 20 years.
Yep.
Yeah, but like I want you to be a part of this. I want longevity. And the only way you can do that is just be honest with folks.
Yeah, I agree with that. Because it wouldn't be no fun if there was nobody else there.
I guarantee you. And I've got an angle. I want your longevity. I want you to come for the next 20 years and enter in my show. So the more successful you are, better off we're all going to be. Even the winners, Yeah. That's and that's one thing that helps us keep growing. Like we started off the show with talking about all these numbers. Like without that, we wouldn't have these numbers.
Agreed. No doubt.
And this year we're talking about 600 entries. In the next 5 years, we might be talking about 700-800 entries. Instead of 4-day shows, we might be talking about 5- and 6-day shows.
Man, that'd be something. And like you said, it's come a long way. And I know it's through a lot of hard work and the way that you operate, way that you run things. It's kind of almost like I ain't gonna say almost like, it's like that you set a standard or set a bar on how a bay is run efficiently and how it should be run. And there's other bays out there that aren't run the same way and stuff, and that can be tough to deal with. So when people come to yours, they might see a different side if they've been to a bay pen in Georgia or some other place, or Oklahoma or whatever, or you hold a little bit different standard on there. The judging is pretty much the same every time you go, and it's run very efficiently. And the hogs there's always good hogs. That makes a big difference.
Yep.
If you don't have hogs, you can't do much.
Yeah, and what it costs to run this is like a lot of folks think you can just, hey, I'm gonna get me 10 or 12 hogs in a pen and I can do what he does. Like, no. ain't how it works. The show's a week away. This time next week I'll be driving to Downsville on Wednesday morning before the show starts. We're gonna cut the teeth on about 140 head.
Yeah.
Imagine feeding 140 head year round, what that costs.
Oh man, it's ridiculous.
The next closest to what we do is about 24 head. What's that, about six times less?
Yeah,
a sixth of what we're feeding. Like, that's the type of product we want to put out.
Well, I mean, like you said, we've made the innuendo part back and forth about like the PBR, and that's the kind of caliber hogs that you're feeding. Is, it's the difference between a backyard rodeo and an arena rodeo. There's a big difference. When the first time we came out there, I was like, holy shit! Like, people weren't standing inside the pen with their dog and the hog. Yeah, it's like, you ain't doing that here. You better have a dog with some power.
That's right.
And it worked. I like it. I love it. That's my favorite thing is the hogs.
Yeah, buddy.
So and y'all gonna have a house full of them.
We'll be back after a quick break.
And now, thanks to the sponsors and friends of Dixie Doggers. Animal Housing Solutions.
Boars N Broads.
Crockett Taxidermy.
Hardcore Hog Dogs.
Southern Cross Cut Gear.
Ada Y Transport.
4L Kennels.
The American Doghorn Museum.
Unique Hound and Hunting Supply.
Hogbaying.com.
Tuskers Magazine.
Mud Creek Hog Dog Trials.
Yes, sir. Yep, and we're already grooming them. Like we have to have so many because when you travel with them to go put on Uncle Earl's, it's hard on them. And we're already working on putting a set together for next year's Uncle Earl's.
Yeah, that's cool there. I mean, that's already what? Uncle Earl's be what, 6 more months? 8 months?
Shit. Yeah, no, 6 months. It won't be long.
Closing in fast already. That's my favorite time of year now.
It's gonna be a good time.
Yeah.
I guarantee you.
This is the third year we've made it. And I just don't see myself ever missing it at all. Regardless.
Yeah, you can't. No. Like, everybody, like, there's even like people that don't know nothing about a hog or a hog dog that come because there's so many like-minded dog folks there. They just come and have a good time.
Yeah.
Like for instance, like Logan Campbell, he never would have went to a hog baying. Like, I've been to hog bayings all over Mississippi, and I never seen Logan Campbell. But there were so many hunters there that he started coming to Earl's, and now he comes to our shows. He don't even have a competition dog. He just likes to watch it and be with those kind of folks because it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, no doubt. And Logan loves having fun.
Mm-hmm.
Who don't like to have fun?
Yes, I guarantee you. I think Logan's better at having fun than most folks.
Yeah,
but
we went and stayed a few days with him, and we had a lot of fun. which Logan and Nate, they had more fun than me and Rodney did. I carried my old ass to bed.
Hot Rod is the definition of fun.
Yeah,
I ain't never seen Rodney when he wasn't smiling.
No, he's always smiling, man. And if he ain't, there's definitely something wrong. You know what I mean? If he's not smiling, we need to check on him.
Heck yeah,
there ain't no doubt. And that's he's the same way. He doesn't have any competition dogs or anything, and he loves going to the base.
Yep.
He goes and hangs out and enjoys it and has a good time.
Yeah, we have you talk about making the show bigger. There's pluses and there's minuses to it. The plus is the sport's growing. The minus is like used to, like just our buddies could come off the street with a good hog dog and be competitive. Now it's so refined that like people are breeding like the perfect crosses and stuff. And now like it takes a super dog to compete. Used to you could ride down the road and all your hog dog buddies, hey, bring your best dog, let's go, and y'all could make a mark. Now it's harder, like the type of work and stuff that goes into it.
Yeah.
And preparation to be a champion is just a lot tougher than it used to be. And it's like anything, like rodeo, used to, you'd take all the ranch horses out there and that's what you competed on. You roped on, rope calves, steers, whatever, was just a regular old ranch horse. Well, now there's job-specific roping horses for rodeo. It ain't the same. You ain't going to jump a donkey off the trailer and go win the NFR.
That's right. And I mean, the caliber of dogs is definitely, I've seen it change in the short years that we've been in it. I mean, the dogs, like you said, they're bred specific. They got all these dogs that are like super lines. These are super bay dogs. And if you don't have that kind of dog, then it's really hard to beat that type of dog for sure. You might get lucky, but it'd be few and far. The competition is really grown.
Yeah, and you mentioned something right there, like I guess luck will always have a part of it, but as like when you put these boots on, say, hey, I'm gonna put on a hog band today. It is your job to take as much luck out of it as possible. Yeah, can you control the wind and the rain? No, but you can sure have as much control as you know what I mean. You can get the best hogs and the best judges, and at that point, the best dogs are going to win.
Yeah.
You try to take luck out of it as much as you can. Is there still some in it? Absolutely.
Yeah. But it's that's what I meant when I said that. You might get lucky, but
it can happen.
That's a small thing. Now, can you bring a really good dog there and climb up? Sure, and that depends on the handler you are as well. But depending on, like you said, when they put them boots on, you try to get that playing field where it's level. You got to have good judges. I don't care where it's at, Mississippi, Arkansas, Louisiana, wherever you can bay a hog. If you can have a competition, you have to have good judges that are consistent and that know what the fuck they're doing. You can't have just some guy who, judged the backyard bay in 1987 or 1900, whatever.
Yeah.
You can't have that shit and put on a show that's really going to draw people that are going to spend money. And if we really can't run your own dog if you run the fucking show.
And that,
excuse my language, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I've
never been to those places.
Here's the best advice that I can give anyone that wants to put on a hog band. Just give them, my phone number is posted all over the World Wide Web and social media. Call me. You see, I have the blueprint for what works. All you have to do is ask me.
Yeah.
To this day, there's only two entities that I've ever seen to stand the test of time. That was the NALC, and I ain't saying that, we all know what that's became. Yeah. And then there's hogband.com. Mm-hmm. And I can tell you what works. I wouldn't take advice from people that it didn't work. They tried one time and it failed, and they're the ones going to give you advice. Talk to somebody that's been successful. And, it's like because I need a place to compete too. I can't compete at my shows. I want to go to somebody else's and compete.
Well, exactly. It's got to be tough because you were Jake who bayed dogs at in the woods and at these bay pens. Now you're the one running them. When the hell do you get to bay your dogs? And you're we've talked about this before. Like I've seen other people let their buddy handle their dog and run their dog at their own bays, and then I've seen their kid. They're like, well, it's a youth bay, so they let their kids run their dogs at their own shows. I'm gonna
get on a soapbox. I'm gonna get on a soapbox real quick, and like at face value, I may be criticized for this, but this is heavy on my heart, and this is also right. The youth bay is ruining the sport. the youth bay is turning our youth away from the sport. The youth bay needs to be done away with. Period. It has become an easy way for adults to make money. It does not get the youth involved. You want to get the youth involved? Do what Ricky Campbell does.
Yeah.
Get you some good dogs and let your kids run them.
Mm-hmm.
Do what the Jeff Coats do. Get you some good dogs and let your kid run them.
They run theirs in pro class.
Yeah, like Jeff Coat, his kid runs the whole damn kennel.
Yeah.
You know, he decides what dogs they're running and what events and everything. Now Code Red ain't that way. Ricky still decides who's running with who and where, but the kids run the dogs. All Ricky does is stand there and watch and make sure the hog don't eat them up.
Yep.
You know, that's getting the youth involved. Mm-hmm. It's on mama and daddy. It ain't on the producer of the show. Because man, I've seen the craziest things at the youth bay. You know, a kid I don't even know walks up and bays 310s in the youth bay and don't even know the dog's name.
Yeah.
Like that is counterproductive.
I agree. I agree.
It is it is absolutely ruining competition. It is absolutely ruining the youth. It is absolutely negative to what we're trying to accomplish. But if you went out there and canceled the youth bay, you'd get crucified.
Yeah.
And you'd get crucified by the ones that are cheating in it.
Oh yeah. I don't
that's
think
back,
we've ever had
that's back. That's back. I'm gonna give you some credit if you don't mind. You mind if I give you a little credit for something you may not have said? I'm gonna give you the credit for it now. That's like you know, like I just said about people crucifying you about the youth bay or the ones cheating in it.
Mm-hmm. You
know how you know my biggest critics? They're all kind of trashy. I think you mentioned that before we started recording.
Yeah.
But the people that criticize me, they probably I wouldn't. There's also a meme floating around the internet that says, "Don't take criticism from people you wouldn't take advice from."
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, no doubt. But that's how it goes. It shows when it stands the test of time. That says that's what'll speak volumes right there. Because
and when you come to the show and see like not to say that somebody's never left disappointed, because they have.
Oh yeah.
But like when you come to show and see there's 400 people there and 997 of them are having a great time. That's what it's all about. Like you don't listen to the 3 that are complaining on Facebook.
Now, and like I said, I've always seen where, and not just at the events that you've had, but I went to other bays at other parts of the country and stuff. And like you said, it's like-minded people getting together, having a good time. That tends to be the norm there. And no matter where you go, there's always 2 or 3 that are bitching and moaning, complaining, pissing, whatever. Don't listen to them people. Just move on. They don't matter because they're not upstanding in it. They're holding up production.
That's right.
So I mean, don't even listen to that. They start putting negative shit out. Just turn the page, man. You ain't got to read it.
And the ones that gripe the most are the most loyal supporters as far as financially. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That they're the ones that line up and they're going to be there every time. The only reason they're griping is to get a little preferential treatment. They think they think that the squeaky wheel is going to get the grease. Like, no, baby, these rules are consistent.
Yeah. And they got to be. That's the thing. They got to be consistent, because if they're not, then it's not going to stand the test of time, because you get that preferential treatment going. And if somebody sees that, which you know how that goes. I mean, how many times has that been brought up? Well, so-and-so, I think they let him do this, or so-and-so, he don't get called for this. Come on now.
Yeah. And there's so many moving parts. Like I don't know that I pay enough to keep all them people from coming out and outing me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like somebody would have done squealed by now.
I would think so. Yeah, somebody would have said, all right, damn it, you have to come up for some more.
But man, like, 99% of the people that come are great folks, and we spend 99% of our time talking about the 1% of turd heads. Let's move on to the positive side of the competition side, and let's talk about you know, I don't want to say the winners. I like to talk about all the competitors, especially if they bring their best. But like, who do you know? I think you missed the August show, but I know you made Earl's, and I think a little bit in May there.
Yeah.
Give me some predictions, man. You and Nate, tell me what y'all think.
Dude, I don't know why, but I have this Johnny White, Donnie Bergman thing. Is just I keep watching them hard. I'm telling you, it's which there's quite a few. They got several good dogs, and I've watched Johnny for a long time, and how much passion he has for this. Like, if Johnny White is on Facebook every day, it's going to be a post about hog baying. It's going to have a hog dog and a hog and something about baying in it. He lives, breathes, eats, and sleeps this shit.
Yes. Yeah, and
I would love to see him and it just blow it out of the water. And I know it's coming.
But just a little microcosm of what you said there as to why it's so hard to compete now. Like, this guy has 3 or 4 years of thought into breeding, nutrition, training techniques, housing techniques, traveling techniques. Like this dude, there's no part of the game, from traveling to day-to-day life to competing to don't have that yet. But if you come, you're going to pick up on it. And the only way you do that is to rub elbows with guys like that.
And it's, like I said, it's one of them deals where I've seen him put a lot into it. It's kind of, like I said, I'm kind of rooting for him to maybe this next year really everything really takes off, because I know they've done pretty good this year. I don't know exactly what all they've won, but I've seen quite a few pictures. I think in the, let's see, which show did we go to? It was not, we didn't come in the August show. It was the one before that.
May or Earl's.
Yeah, it was May. No, it was in the May show. Yeah. We come down there, and I think they won. They hit 2 or 3 holes, and I was like,
they won the 2-dog, but they split the 2-dog with Randy.
Yeah.
With novice dog.
With novice. That's right. That's the one I came to, and I was like, I said, man, it's paying off, and that's kind of one of them deals I like. But like you said, as far as now predictions on the race that we got going on, I mean,
I think they're a top 4 kennel right now.
Really?
SMK. And there's all kind of rumors about what SMK stands for. I think we've landed on that it stands for Size Matters Kennels.
Yeah, that's probably that's not what I was thinking, but we'll go with that. But now it's, the like you said, the other kennels that you talked about, Hand Grenade is just a specimen of a dog.
You can never count him out.
That dude right there, since the first time I seen him, I was like, he is above and beyond a lot of animals there.
They've had, next year will be the 30th Uncle Earl's, and I think there's only been 3 dogs that have won the 1-dog twice.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of them.
Yeah, he's definitely one of my favorites there. But of course, Goose is always going to be my main guy there.
Definitely.
Let's just talk about this. Like, I try not to harp on Goose, because everybody knows Goose.
Oh yeah.
And Goose is on a whole, like if you added it all together, like he invented a new stratosphere.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't need to sell that idea. Everybody already knows about that. Right. But I will say this: I don't want to be staring down that barrel on Sunday in October when I know he needs 5 points and I'm competing against him.
You ain't lying.
It's like Tiger Woods down 3 strokes. He's liable to set a course record.
Yeah, it can happen. It can damn sure happen.
I guarantee you.
But like you said, you got so many good dogs right there in the top. It's really hard. It can go either way anyway. Because has it ever been this close?
Oh yeah, it's been closer. I mean, like okay. this necessarily. The only reason we're considering this close is really not that close. The only reason we're considering it close is because Goose is the dog that's in second.
Yeah. So I got
you. In 2020, it came down to Goose was ahead of Clyde by 4 points. Earl's was in October that year. Remember, because of COVID.
Yep, that's right.
All right, it came down to the best of the best. You can't talk to your dog. He's in there by himself in a half-acre deal with the hog, and he's got to fight it out. And they bait off head up, and the winner of that was the world champion. The best of the best and the world championship was crowned at the exact same time the clock struck 0.
Oh.
But, I mean, there's been normally, I want to say until like Goose's third or fourth championship, it came down till Sunday every time. I think his third or fourth one, he showed it up mathematically on Saturday night.
Hell yeah.
But other than that one, every time on Sunday, it's still, mathematically still could be. But the only thing about him is if he's in the lead, he's still competing. Like he can win, he's still going to be winning because he's. I mean, as long as there's air in his lungs, he's going to be slinging at it.
That's right. So when I was down there in May, I wanted to bring this up. What about Fanboy?
Well, he's kind of junky, but
me and Pat was over there talking. And Fanboy come out there. Pat looked at me. He said, "Damn, what do you think about?" I said, "Man, that son gun's looking right tonight." I said, "I think that's the ones right there." And then I stayed. I slept in the trucks. I stayed all night just so I could see. And when he won, I was like, "Oh my!" I said, "Well, I bet Jake's gonna be just tickled about that one."
Well, see, like Fanboy is a prime example of why you never give up on nothing. A relationship, underwear, socks. You never give up on nothing because they're liable to be the one that gets the job done that day.
That's right.
And in August in the 2-Dog World Cup, he won first and second. It is probably the biggest upset. I would say Douglas and Tyson, but that is probably an insult to Douglas and Tyson because this is the biggest upset in the history of sports. Like ESPN wanted to do a 30 for 30 about it, and and this is I told them no. I was like we're gonna wait. Let it get a little time. Let the wounds heal over. Because it's kind of like was it Matchbox? No, Vanilla Ice. We'll call it like Vanilla Ice, a one-hit wonder kind of deal.
There you go. So you think that's all it was? Hey, that's the show that I came to. Was the August show? I didn't come to we didn't go to the May show.
Okay.
I was sitting there thinking, I was like, wait a minute, I was backwards. Okay, so I did come to the August show. I didn't make it to the May show. The May show, ain't that where Martha got injured?
Yeah, Martha was injured.
Yeah, okay. Boy, now that's a nice dog right there. Man, that's a
yes, sir. Dog. Yes, sir. And we've been watching the video, and we believe that like a heat may have had something to do with it.
Yeah.
Like, because there was no contact when she started acting kind of punch drunk, and she may have had a heat stroke of some kind or something. We don't really know.
Yeah. Because
it was a hot, humid. You know what now?
Yeah, no doubt. That it was hot and humid all summer, but man, May. I mean,
August wasn't much better. The only thing better about August, it was only one day.
Yeah, and it was all night.
Yeah, it was a one-shot deal.
Yeah, that worked out pretty good because if it had been all, if it had went for 2 or 3 days there, I don't know if I could have just sat there. Which I didn't bring any dogs. I came to support it and come to hang out and see everybody because we didn't make the May show. And so I was like, well, I'm not going to miss it. And man, like I said, we had a good time, but it was hot. Man, it's hot. It should be pretty nice weather though next weekend.
Yeah, lows in the 60s, like low 60s.
Yeah.
And high around mid 80s. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and give you a weather update right now. I can get this this app tagged right. I got Downsville on the speed dial in this thing.
We had a couple of days last week and over the weekend. It was just phenomenal. We were supposed to got off that hurricane, but we didn't. You know, we got some nice cool weather.
Have I got great news for you?
Uh-huh.
There is 0% chance of precipitation.
Oh.
The low every day is 56. The high every day is 82.
Holy smokes. That's Baytime weather there, boys.
The 10th through the 13th. That's hog baying weather, bro.
You ain't lying.
Let's go, boys.
Shoot, that right there, that makes it a whole lot. That eases your mind right there.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, I
nice.
guarantee you. I guess the crowd feeling good too. It's one thing, it's one thing to keep everybody happy, but it's another thing to keep everybody happy when they're already miserable with the weather,
Yeah.
and having to listen to Uncle Pat steal their wives and stuff.
You got to keep them bolted down. You know, I thought he was going to be Nathan's uncle for real there for a little bit.
I'm pretty sure he might be.
Because I was sitting there, and next thing I know,
think about this.
He done swooned my sister.
Hey, but think about this right now. Do you have your eyes on him right now?
No, and I'm worried.
I don't either. So there ain't no telling where he might be. Heather, where you at? Come here, Heather. I don't know where Heather is either.
There you go. Oh, Pat, boy, he's something. And you know, that's another thing right there. I get so many people, they call me. They're like, hey, buddy, we like the podcast and blah, 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 and tells us all how great it is. When you going to get Pat on there again? I was like, well, listen now, damn it. Wait a minute. I thought we was talking about me for a minute. But hell no, they want to hear Pat talking shit.
Pat's on a pitch count.
That's it. We're going to have to.
Yeah. Say we reached 2.5 million households, and every one of them households are like family households with a man and a woman, obviously.
Yeah.
And we're worried about the woman listening more than the man.
That's exactly right. You got to watch it.
But this might be a business venture here. Because see, if we bust them all up, that could be 5 million households.
Yeah, ain't no doubt. We could pump the numbers up real good.
I guarantee you, we might be on to something here. I'm glad we had this talk.
Ain't no doubt about it. So, oh man, you got anything?
Well,
you got anything else laid out to?
Man,
to let the good
I'll tell you this. Well, I'm ready where I live here in the southeast corner of Texas. They're south of Beaumont. A lot of alligators, and there ain't no deer. And I'm ready for this first cold snap to come up, so them alligators go lay up, and we can go run some hog dogs. Mm-hmm. While everybody else is sitting on the bench for deer season.
Speaking of which, listen, I talked to Pat the other day, yesterday, and me and him had this conversation about. It's been a while back. We were talking about running deer dogs, and you know, Pat said you and him used to go out with Zach, run deer dogs. Yeah, and that was a really good thing that y'all did, and y'all enjoyed that. Well, I talked to Pat yesterday, and I know he hadn't talked to you or anything, but I told him, I said, listen, I have inquired with several individuals around here who happen to own big hunting clubs that run deer dogs. And I told him, I said, I got a couple of guys from out there around
and that's
Texas.
Half the trip. That's half the trip to go to y'all.
Yeah, exactly. And I told him, I said, I got them. I said, hey, you know, what does it take to get, they said, look, tell them load up, bring some dogs, bring shotguns or rifles or whatever they want to bring, and let's go. So you and Pat, we need to figure out some dates, and we'll
I'm down.
We'll put that together. I think it'll be I definitely know it'll be a good time. Me and Nate, we go a couple of times a year. But
I think it's the second week in December. It's the SEC championship. Everybody knows it's going to be Alabama and Texas. Mm-hmm. We need to go about that time. I'll just go over there and bring my shotgun, and then I'll run over to Atlanta that Saturday and watch Texas beat Alabama, and then I'll come back home.
There you go. It could happen. You know, like you said, that one little thing about getting lucky. I mean, Texas could get lucky.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky.
Roll Tide. You know, last week, you know, Cody Godwin, I didn't even know, I wouldn't, and I'm not a big sports guy. I like baseball, and I watch football from time to time, but I kept getting these texts, and it just said, roll Tide, and I was running dogs, you know. And I was sitting there, I looked at Rodney, I was like, is Alabama playing? Rodney's a damn Auburn fan. And he
Oh,
was
man,
like,
poor fella.
he said, I don't know, but Auburn plays tonight. I was like, oh, shit. And I was like, never mind. I know everybody's texting Roll Tide, so we won, which that's good.
Yeah, Auburn, I think they discontinued their football program.
Yeah, Rodney, he never did say much else about it. You know,
They played a girls' college the other day.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they squeaked it out. They came from behind. No pun intended.
Yeah, no doubt. Man, I know used to they give Alabama hell when Saban first started coaching here. A lot of the Auburn fans, they'd be like, well, are they going to let y'all play college teams this year? Y'all just going to start out with high school teams like y'all normally do. Florida Atlantic, ain't that a high school team? I was like, listen, I don't know. I don't want to get that far in depth in it. I was like, shit, I can't even keep up with my dogs.
I guarantee you, Big Daddy.
But it's a fun time living around here. We live 40 miles from the University of Alabama.
Are you 40 miles from Tuscaloosa?
Yeah, and so where we hunt at is in Tuscaloosa County, Greene County. We drive back and forth through there constantly. Years ago, when they redone the stadium, I put all the big lights and all that stuff up in there years ago, and it's a hell of a time to go down there on a Saturday.
Do you know the last visiting team to win in Bryant-Denny Stadium? You know who that is?
No, I don't know.
Do you know how long ago it was?
It's probably
When Johnny
75 years
Manziel
ago.
played?
Was it Texas?
That's how short everyone's memory is.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was September of 2023. The University of Texas Longhorns went into T-Town.
That's right.
And beat them by 2 touchdowns.
Oh, it was. Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Yep.
No, I remember now because I actually picked Texas on that one because everybody was talking shit. I said, listen, don't get your damn panties up in the roar. I said, I'm telling you, don't ever count it out. Don't.
And now Georgia is coming to Austin in 3 weeks. They're actually the week of the Bay-In.
Yeah.
The Georgia Bulldogs are suiting up.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm sorry. Texas playing Oklahoma that week.
I think Ryan Rankin's going to come out of retirement. You start talking shit. He's going to suit up.
The week after that, hey, actually, you know, like I give a lot of people hell, like the A&M and LSU fans because they're second rate at best. But anyway, like I really respect Georgia and Alabama, and they handle themselves well. They're great men, great leaders of this country, and great football programs. And I got all the love in the world for them. But if you're an Aggie, that's another story.
That's a whole different deal then.
Anybody, any school that has boy cheerleaders, I'm out.
Yeah, there you go. I don't know. I didn't know you could. Do they have boy cheerleaders?
They don't have girl. Well, a lot of them have boy cheerleaders, but you need guys.
But girls too, right? Yeah.
Yeah. You need guys to throw them in there and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But A&M has nothing. A&M has nothing but boys. They don't have girls.
Oh,
that's the question.
What I thought you.
I feel like you know the answer to that. You just don't want to say it.
Yeah.
All they have is boys and have since the 1940 or whatever.
Oh,
maybe 1930.
That might be some of that SMK stuff there. I don't know.
Yeah. Soft mouth kennel.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy.
Lord help him, son. Lord help him. Oh,
well, man. God. Hey, we're gonna have a big show here in a couple weeks. We hope everybody's a part of it. We're looking forward to seeing everybody.
That's right.
Who knows when we might sit down? Friday night's always a short night. We might sit down and give a little preview and a rundown of everything that's happened through that point. Give folks something to talk about. And if Uncle Pat is if we can get him to sit still actually he's gonna be on an oil rig. I'm making quotation marks right now.
Yeah.
Uncle Pat's gonna be on an oil rig.
Yeah, he's gonna be pumping.
Yeah. He's gonna be on an oil rig the week of the base. He ain't gonna be there. Sorry, lady.
Yeah. He might do some MIA stuff and slide off, go AWOL. He'll go AWOL from the oil rig. He'll sneak around the side. You watch.
Yeah.
You never tell about him.
Lord have mercy.
That's right. Well, Jake, it's good catching up with you. Thank you for sharing that with us, and we're gonna get this out so that way all our fine listeners can get this shit on their minds. The 10th through the 13th, Downsville, Louisiana. Be there.
Have you listened to the last 50 minutes? That's a lot to get on their mind. They're probably gonna need 2 weeks to prepare.
Well, at least it wasn't like me and Ed on Houndsman XP talking about shitting in the woods. It could always be something like that.
Yeah, we have indoor plumbing at the hog bed.
All right, everybody. Well, that sounds good, brother.
All right, dude. Y'all take care. Enjoyed it.
See you, Jake. Thank you, Jake.
Later, fellas.
Yep. All right, man. That's the incomparable Jake, Big Daddy. That's the man right there, y'all. The man with a plan. He'll say you a used dog or a used car, whichever one you need. He can do it. So yeah, but like, you know, the bay will be next Wednesday or next Thursday through Sunday. Be a lot of the big dogs there. Y'all go watch it, go check it out, go support it. Weather's gonna be good, nice. It's not gonna be 120 degrees. It's not supposed to be raining or anything. So if you're not doing nothing and you want to go check it out, y'all can check out hogband.com or contact Jake. All the stuff's on social media. I mean, you'll be able to find it. If you can't, holler at us. We'll point you in the right direction. And maybe we'll see y'all there. So until the next time, one more again, we are out and we'll see y'all. Thank y'all.
Thank you. Hope y'all enjoyed that episode. Stay tuned for our new episodes every Monday and Wednesday. For questions, advertising, or just to chat, email DixieDoggers01@gmail.com.